Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of Chai TV. My name is Derek Chai, I'm the host and hence the name. And the aim of Chai TV is to answer some of the questions that you guys have asked regarding some of the videos that I've made in the past. And for those of you who've been to this channel before, you know what I'm all about. I love talking about tech, which includes gadgets, phones, computers, tablets, photography, and my latest interest, which is a Tesla. And I just wanted to be here on this show to answer some of the questions that you guys have posed, and I hope that I can help you make an informed decision about your potential purchase. I'm here to answer any questions about the buying process, actually using the particular piece of technology. So if there's something you're stuck on, if you need some support, hopefully I can provide you some assistance, because that's what this community is all about. We help each other so we can make the best use of the tech that we have. So without any further ado, let's get started with episode 1. So for those of you who have been following, in my last video, I talked about the process of me getting a Tesla Model 3 long range here in Australia. And since I've made that video, I've received a lot of questions about financing, the best way to be able to afford this vehicle. Firstly, I just wanted to say that I'm only going to provide you with my own personal experience. I am not in any way a financial advisor or a financial professional, and you should always seek the advice of a professional when you're making a big purchase like this. And to that end, I'm just going to put some disclaimer on the screen right now. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to give you my 2 cents. And just remember, you can't blame me for making the bad decision, because you would have sought professional advice based on your own personal financial situation. If you're planning on getting a Tesla Model 3 or any other car for that matter, the first thing you can remember is it's a depreciating asset. So the minute you pay, you click the buy button or you sign the dotted line, your car has already started to diminish in value. So if you're looking at purchasing a vehicle as a form of investment, stop. Unless you're getting some limited edition old vintage car, you're going to lose money straight away. So you're just going to have to bear that in mind, that whatever you pay for now, in 3, 4, 5 years or whenever long you're going to hold on to this car, when you try and sell it, you're only going to get a fraction of the price that you paid for it. And I'm not here to advise you of what car you should buy or how much money you should spend on your car. I'm here on the presumption that you've already made the decision to purchase a car, and in my case a Tesla Model 3, and I just wanted to go through with you as the possible solutions how you can finance this car, from paying cash, borrowing money, and to leasing it, and hopefully this will help you make the right decision for you. So what is the cheapest, most cost-efficient way to afford a car? Before we go there, I'm just going to set the ground rules for this video. I'm going to assume that the car you want is a particular car, or the expenses are going to be the same no matter how you finance it. So it's going to be the same for tires, for servicing, for registration, for CTP green slip, for comprehensive car insurance, any sundries, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to make them all equal, so that's not going to affect the final cost of any of the car you purchase, no matter what type of finance that you ultimately choose to make this purchase. And once again, every time I make a video, this giant cold train comes through and we can't hear anything, but I'm going to soldier on anyway. So it may be the most obvious thing to say, but the most cost-efficient way to purchase a vehicle, in very simple layman's terms, which is all I'm going to use because, as I said, I'm not a financial expert, is to buy the car outright. And what that means is you just give them cash, give them a check or whatever, and you pay the entire cost of the car in one go. The benefit of that is that you have no ongoing interest payments. So you don't have to pay an amount above the cost of the vehicle because you're borrowing money for somebody else. And immediately, as soon as you hand that check over, the car is yours. No one can take it away. You can do whatever you like with it. You can keep it. You can sell it in 4 years. You can keep it for 10 years. It doesn't matter. The car is yours to choose. And you can do whatever else you want to do with your car at any point. So if you decided you want to tint the windows, put a spoiler on it, put a bull bar, you can put tow bars, you can put roof racks, whatever you want. You can do anything you like. You can put a wrap on it. And if that's your situation, you could probably just stop watching this video right now, because that's going to be the most cost-efficient way of getting your car. But wait, there is a caveat to this. Assuming that you've got that amount of cash available in an account, there's something I want you to consider before you just fork out the $50,000 or the $80,000 in cash to buy this car. Yes, you don't have to pay any interest, and if you've got that amount of money sitting under your mattress or in one of those shitty bank accounts earning 0.001% per annum, the best way is to just pay off the car that way, buy it outright, because you're not making any gains with that cash anyhow. But assuming that you're capable of making consistently, say 10% or 20% return on that amount of money through another type of investment, whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's cryptocurrency, you can see that quickly you have to make a decision, because 10% annual return, even before having to pay tax on that, is going to be a bigger amount of money than saying paying 3% as a loan for the car. In that situation, it's probably better borrowing the money at 3% for the car and making 10%, because you're still going to be ahead. But if you're earning 0% with that cash, you're certainly better off just using that cash and buying the car outright. Make sense? Now, the second method of getting hold of your much wanted car is through a personal loan, car loan, or whatever you have it. There is what's called a comparison rate. So right now it's about 3%, but that varies. And basically what you do is you sign a contract, you agree to borrow that money, and you pay a certain amount of interest, and that comes out fortnightly or whatever. And the term is usually, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. I guess you get to choose some of that. You also get to choose how much you put as a deposit or an upfront payment, and how much you want to leave as a balloon or a residual at the end. By increasing the deposit and increasing the balloon payment, you're borrowing less money. And obviously by borrowing less money, you have to pay less interest. But to say that, you have to fork out the money for the upfront payment, and you have to make sure that you have money at the end. And if at any point you don't manage to keep the repayments going, the finance company can take back your car and you have nothing. With a personal loan such as this, the ultimately is you stick to the payments and you complete the payment plan. At the end of it, you get to keep your car. Just like with the outright vehicle, you can do whatever you like to it. There's no rules as to how long you need to keep it. There's no rules as to whether you can put new accessories on it or anything like that. And essentially it's your car, except you just borrow somebody else's money to help you finance the car. And this is no different than borrowing money to pay for your house, except remember that buying a vehicle is 99.9999999% likely to be a depreciating asset. You're borrowing money to buy something that goes down in value, so you're not going to be able to recoup your money at the end of the loan. But if you're okay with that, the car loan is another possible method for you to get the car of your dreams. And finally, this is the one that everyone's been asking questions about, and this is this thing called novated lease. First of all, before you get into this, it may not be called this in your particular country, and you may not even have it in the country that you live in. Number two is not all companies offer this, but if you are in a position where that is an option, that's something for you to think about, and I'll tell you why. A novated lease differs from a personal loan in that you're actually kind of borrowing the car for the set amount of time, so you don't really get to own the car. For example, if you do a 4-year novated lease, at the end of the 4 years, you have a decision to make. If you want to own the car, you have to pay the residual, which is determined in this country by the ATO, so it depends on the length of your lease. And until then, you do not own the car. If you choose not to buy the car outright, you can give it back and pay the difference by selling the car or trading in the car for another lease. But whatever you don't get, up to the value of the residual value, you have to top up from your own money. The benefit of a novated lease is this. Because it's a 3-party agreement, what happens is your company that you work for takes part in the lease, and there's some tax savings. So for number one, if you take out a novated lease, you do not have to pay GST for the car. So that's going to save you 10% right up front. Number two is the deductions that come out of your pay are pre-tax. So it reduces the amount of tax you have to pay because it effectively reduces your income. Basically, with a personal loan, everything comes out after tax, and with a novated lease, it comes out before tax. But with a personal loan, you own the car. With a novated lease, you don't, unless you choose to pay off the residual at the end. So pre-tax contributions, no GST, but balloon payment, which in the case of an $80,000 Tesla, in Australia right now, it's about $30,000. So from my own personal research, using a novated lease is advantageous over a personal loan because of those things I've mentioned, the reduction in your overall income tax, the fact that you don't have to pay GST, and it's probably second place in the 3 options that I've described. Outright is clearly the cheapest if you've got that amount of money lying around, but most of us don't. I have novated leased 4 cars now, I think. And one of the things you've got to remember too is that with a novated lease, if you for any reason leave your job, you still have to continue to pay the lease payments. But at that point, it's no longer tax-free because it comes out of your after-tax income. It becomes a really expensive personal loan. So if you're planning on quitting your job in the next year, I would not get a novated lease. And as I alluded to in my previous video that I made about the Tesla Model 3, because all your presumed maintenance payments come out of your pay automatically, you don't get hit with bill shock. So every fortnight, it's already taken money out of your account to cover your potential costs such as fuel, not in this case, but charging. And I'll go into that quickly in a second. Your insurance, your CTP, your rego, your tires, your servicing, everything comes out in installments. So you don't suddenly get a $2,500 bill and you go, oh Jesus, I don't have that much money in my account, because it's already covered. You've been putting aside a certain amount every fortnight automatically to cover that bill, which is a great thing. Sometimes we can't afford a $2,500 bill all of a sudden, and this takes care of that. Similarly, if you drive an ICE, which is an internal combustion engine vehicle, so basically a petrol-powered vehicle, the cost of petrol has already been budgeted in. You have to be a bit careful now because, as you know, the prices of fuel is skyrocketing and you may not have budgeted enough. In terms of electric vehicles, from what I have researched, you can definitely deduct or claim the cost of charging if you do it at a commercial charger like a Tesla supercharger. But if you're at home and charging it off your mains, you cannot claim that as a deduction unless you set up a separate meter, because there's no way to be able to differentiate money you're spending on charging your car compared to the money you're spending powering your oven. So ultimately, which method is the best for you? If you're wanting to buy a Tesla Model 3, and apart from the torturous 5 to 7 month wait that we have right now, the next important decision is to work out how to best finance your vehicle. And I hope that the descriptions of the 3 methods that are the main methods of financing a vehicle I've explained to you in this video in some sort of form that makes it easy to understand. And now you have to make your own decision as to what is right for your personal circumstance. And before I conclude this video, I just wanted to let you know one more thing. If you do take out a novated lease on your car, you cannot add any accessories to it once you've made the initial purchase. So if you want a tow bar or a roof rack or extra tinting or anything else for your vehicle, you have to do it at the time of ordering the vehicle. You cannot claim the value of this once you have taken out the lease and you started the repayments. And the other thing, just to be careful about, not 100% sure about this, but if you do put on accessories like tow bars and roof racks and tinting, when you return the car, the initial contract was for a vanilla standard vehicle. And I don't know that they'd be happy for you to return it with all these modifications. So you better speak with your leasing company about that, because they may make you take all that stuff off before you return the car if that's what you choose to do. And remember too, with EVs, you cannot claim any extra power outlets, charges or anything as part of your novated lease. So that all comes out of your own after-tax funds. So I know that this has been a little bit of a technical video, but I just want to give you my understanding of the 3 different methods of financing your vehicle, as I said. And once you made the decision, it's really important then just to forget about it. You've made it, you've signed on the dotted line, just go out and enjoy your car. We know no matter how you've purchased this car, it's a depreciating asset. Don't get caught up with the fact that you're losing money, go out and enjoy it. And the whole point of life is to be happy. And if you have made the decision that you want to buy this vehicle, just go out and enjoy it. I, on the other hand, have to wait, as I said, 5 to 7 months to start enjoying mine. But I've got started the ball rolling, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you more videos about the Tesla. But in the meantime, I would like to hear from you about any comments you have about the stuff I've spoken to you about in this video, and leave me some questions about whatever that you need some help on, whether it's about cars or whether it's about tech. That's going to give me the material and the content I need to make episode 2 of Chai TV. So until then, hope you have a great day, stay safe, have fun, enjoy your purchase, and I'll speak to you next time in another video. Bye.